Hello and welcome to e-GMAT. We will solve question number 18 of OG Verbal 2nd edition by using e-GMAT 3-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence, and finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. Except for a stage performance that the composer himself staged in 1911, Scott Joplin's ragtime opera Tremonisha was not produced until 1972, 61 years after its completion. So this sentence presents a few facts about the composer Scott Joplin. It says that Joplin himself staged only one concert performance way back in 1911. His ragtime opera Tremonisha was produced only in 1972, 61 years after its completion. Now let us evaluate the errors by splitting the sentence into its clauses. So here comes the first one, except for a stage performance. Presence of that tells us that we have another clause here that reads that the composer himself staged in 1911. Here the composer is the subject and staged is the verb. Now what we have here is the continuation of the first clause. In the first portion of this clause, we did not have subject-verb pair, which actually appears in the latter portion of the clause. It reads, Scott Joplin's ragtime opera Tremonisha was not produced until 1972, 61 years after its completion. Here, ragtime opera Tremonisha is the subject and was not produced is the verb. Okay, in the underlined portion, subject, the composer makes complete sense with staged. So we do not have any subject-verb pair error here. Also, in the non-underlined portion, the verb was not produced is written in the simple past tense, and it is logical because the sentence talks about events that took place in the past. So the use of staged in simple past tense in the underlined portion also makes sense. So we do not have any verb error here. Well, we do not have any pronoun in the underlined portion. That clause clearly modifies a stage performance, so we do not have any modifier error here. There is no parallelism in this sentence. This expression except for clearly says that Joplin staged only one performance in 1911. So there is no ambiguity in what except for is trying to say. So this sentence has no errors. Let us still run the POE and review the other answer choices. Well, as we just discussed, choice A is the correct answer, but we will still take a look at the other answer choices. In choice B, we have this phrase with the composer himself. Now it sounds as if the performance was with the composer. This prepositional phrase here, with the composer himself, fails to modify this concert performance to convey the meaning that the composer himself staged this performance. So this is a little awkward construction and it does not even convey the meaning clearly, and this makes choice B incorrect. In choice C, we have the phrase being staged. Now being staged denotes an action which is still ongoing. It does not talk about the action which was completed way back in 1911. So we must use a simple past tense here in order to denote the action that was completed in the past. So this makes choice C incorrect. In choice D, this expression accepting is not correct. Accepting is generally used after words like not, without, generally in a negative sentence. For every other use, we use except the way the sentence uses in choice A. So that makes choice D incorrect. In choice E, we again have this very awkward construction, performance with the staging. So as we discussed in choice B, that it kind of says that performance was with the composer. Also, this choice is pretty wordy because we have staging done by the composer himself, and then in the beginning we have with the exception of a concert performance. So many words. So this choice is wordy as well. So for these two reasons, choice E is not the correct answer. So as we found out during our error analysis, choice A is the correct answer for this sentence. Time to take a look at the takeaway messages. We must avoid wordy and awkward constructions because they fail to communicate the intended meaning of the sentence most effectively. Also, any idiom that we use in a sentence must be correctly worded.